idea. You know, maybe he just they take Rozok, contest Picardo. Picardo's important. We'll see how they go.
Here we go then. Game number 2 as we get into Erangel once again with Cammy D as well as Matchroom.
PGC 2021, presented by Alienware and Toomey. Plane is up and in the air. Matchroom and Cammy D taking you through the action, and a shout out to our analyst desk. Those guys are killing it. Sure, we've had a little bit of delays, guys. I know. They don't have control to push the button. That's us to start the game.
That's
we
us.
want to
Yeah,
take a little bit of a break, and they did a great job on filling it out for us. So
I had to go walk my
insight,
dog.
guys.
Sorry, guys. Thanks for the hold on the desk. You guys are holding it down. You guys are rock stars.
It's late here. You know, the dog's got to go outside. It's like what?
Yeah.
Like 12:30 your time, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. She likes the night. She likes the moon.
Well, we did see a little bit of a modification from Sonics, and not opting into dropping Pachinki, and that seemed to be a recipe for success, as the Rajak area was very beneficial for them and catapulted them into getting a round of victory last time. So, really, see if we see any other mix-ups coming into here, but it looks like it's pretty comfortable. The only issue is going to be secondary drops based off of it being such an eastern plane path.
We're seeing 3 teams go down to Sosnovka. It looks like they're going to be all separated, but what I'm looking at is, of course, AAA versus 17. Listen, guys, I don't, like, you could argue who the best team in the world is, but I think at this point, you got to acknowledge that 17 are the best team in Pachinki. So, like, okay, fine. You know what, AAA, one more time, throw it through. If you can get 1 kill, then maybe we can see about trying to continue this.
But it just feels right. You know, you got to have a light blue team fighting for Pachinki. Otherwise, is it really an international event? Stov's life. The circle does pop, and it does go to the population-dense area just to the west of Stolp.
One more unique. Stov is going to suspect and guess that this is the last one. Oh, it's 2 in the vehicle. Only gets 1. Can't get the second. Fate is there for the trade, and he's going to be there for the confirm on Gustav and the revive onto Dante.
I love this. Say, okay, look, we can get we don't have to worry about that. Let's just go for the flush in a second. Instead, commit into the res. But I think that FaZe is sitting back over there. Fex says, okay, well, I've got to try to save my teammate as well. Jumps in right as Gustav's going to go down, but Fex does have the high ground. Looks the wrong way. And so with that unique pickup 2, and FaZe goes down.
There was an opportunity there. I respect the play. You got to try and save your teammate, because being a solo this early in the game, there aren't going to be that many opportunities. Try and go for the hero play. It didn't work out this time, but that is the right play to do in that moment. But here, MCG versus D36 in the trenches. I think there's a couple of other teams. TSM maybe trying to look for an angle onto this.
D36 had a rough go into it. Enterforest goes down. Multi-Circle Gaming still sitting 3. Summer and Tank, man. Like the whole squad of them in an awkward spot. Sonics in a little bit of an awkward spot. Kaishin in an awkward spot. And 17 coming in back behind them. I mean, Quick Spray is going to be coming out from Sylphie, but he takes a lot of damage. Mine wants nothing to do with that. Gets him down real quick, and that's going to give them a little bit more of an idea on what's going on. 3007 off in the distance, trying to see if maybe he can get some revenge for his teammate. Got the bolty out, but can't quite connect. And it's going to be shots coming out from Danawa at range to force him away from it.
There are a lot of teams here all scrapping in the same area of the map, but it's actually reminding me of the mid to late game of the previous game, where they have to fight on the edge because there's almost nowhere to go into the center. But the Sonics are trying to separate themselves.
I like the position they're playing at the time, but they do have that blue zone coming in, so they know that they need to move pretty quick. Luckily, Game Home back behind this is providing distraction for 17, so that way they're not rolling in quite so quick. Little Ghost does manage to get into back move. Take him down. By the way, that's an awesome name. Back move's so good. Sonic's still just trying to creep into what's going on with the other members of Game Home at the time, but they have massive numbers disadvantage coming their way. Game Home members just seeing if maybe they can stall this one out for a little bit longer. Lots of damage is being inflicted into Sonics as they're starting to get a couple of different teams that get vision on what's going on. Most notably, Kaishin has spotted them out at distance, but Sonic's going to try to continue to press their way in. That is going to be one member already down and flushed on Sonic's side, but 3007 has to play this one close. Grenade is going to connect, takes him down, and it's 2 members of Sonic's coming in right on the edge of the zone.
God, it was looking like Lord of the Rings with all the green fire everywhere. But it looks like Sonics are able to come out on top with that. Unfortunately, 17, you mentioned they're still right behind them. They have Kaishin right in front of them. They're not out of the woods just yet. Not even close.
All right, so let's see how 17 wants to play this. They're not feeling the best at the time, to say the least. So trying to creep it in right now, seeing if maybe they can sneak in back behind what's going on. They have to be very cautious as, I mean, we're getting into that stage where it's going to be easy to get spotted out, and there you go. It's just going to be a couple taps, and the blue zone's going to go ahead and finish off one. I'm going to see him try to see if he can make another play, but 17 goes down in 12th. Sonics now feel like maybe they have a little bit of the capabilities to move, but it's still going to be Kaishin with the angle on it. Yuppie manages to get connections in. Cobra is going to go ahead and follow it up. Tickleton's going to go down and get flushed, and now it is just one member of Sonics up, trying to see if he can get a little bit of a tricksy angle to work with by getting up on top of those boxes, but Trimsy, not long for the world. Problem comes to play. Kaishin, what was the cost of staying out here? Because you're now put in the exact same position that you just put Sonics in.
Oh my god, Unique trying to send it onto SSG. Thoughtless is able to get the drop into Keenan. That's going to be a confirm as well.
A doozy. Finding an angle, manages to get a second follow-up in what's going on. Unique manages to stagger off what's going on inside of this. Now it's just sharp shot. Seeing if maybe he can pick up a little bit more with it. It's a peak battle back and forth. And oh, that explosion right in front of him, making it a touch nervous. Doozy pretty low on life. Option going for the med at the time. Sharp shot still afraid of where the approach is going to be coming from. He does have a member that he could potentially try to res. I think a Doozy has a read on it. Instead, peeks around, goes for the flush onto it. I gotta say, the longer this goes on, it's starting to turn more and more in Doozy's favor. So with this, it is going to be a spot out at range. So with this, sharp shot is going to get the read into it and is going to survive, but loses multiple members. And guess what? Kaishin, remember how they were down to the south harassing Sonics? They say, hey, let's go to the opposite side of the circle and are rolling right into this. They're going to have to contest against Oath, though, before they can even make it into where kick starts at. So there we go. Calming down for just a second. And Oath, man, they are feeling good.
I mean, there's not much for Kaishin could have done. Again, nowhere in the center to play realistically. And Dynamo is also sending it in onto the gas station. That's going to be SSG gone as well. Very good opportunity pounced upon by Dynamo, but the circle is going to shift away from this northern spot. Fortunately for Oath, they already have members on the scout, on the push, ready to clear the area in front of them. Sonics finally taken care of, not by Kaishin, but by New Home, but still good. A couple of points collected for them. What can NEWHAPPY do with this? Now with their back is cleared, they have a couple of players down though. That's the big issue, and I think TSM, they're gonna continue to make it hurt.
There we go. Gex trying to make a play of their own. They have the high ground up on top of Gen G, but Gen G is, I would say, a little angry at this stage, so not necessarily a team that you want to run into a close range fight with at the time. And Nonix is going to go ahead and retreat from that angle, realizing the fact that they already have a little bit of a foothold in what's going on ahead of them. So with this, trying to see if maybe they can lure Gex into a little bit of a trap and let some of these other teams harass. But Savior finds a good angle onto him as he tries to make it in the tree. And Onyx goes down, but has to be careful. Savior does get spotted out now. It's going to be Asura that gets the vision onto it and gets down onto him. Gex, now realizing the fact that this could be quite problematic in their approach, has to figure out if they're going to commit into just going for the kills or if they're going to try to use this vehicle and reposition around. I mean, MCG is in such a beautiful position. New circle just makes it even better. Gex is going to be rewarded as they're going to have a little bit of an area they can play as well. TSM, Danawa, and Oath all going to have to move. Genji feeling pretty good based off position. I like this. Start going for whatever you can harass back on the NEWHAPPY side. Deny vehicles, deny cover, bouncing them out into the blue zone so that way those exploded vehicles just make it even more difficult. And now it is just a tree for safety. PO now getting his own sight line into what's going on, does get a knock into one. So, I mean, with this, though, Gex feels like they have an opportunity and are going to try to come up back behind it. I don't know. They do manage to at least get Ashura down, but this is an interesting approach coming through as Gen G has a very strong angle against them. And as you can see, already going to have SSR going down. Molotov coming through, gets a little bit of vision, but Yanli does get some damage on Esther. Has to play this one a little bit slower. Flush does come out. Gen G gets spotted, and there you go. I doubted Gex, but you managed to pull it off.
It wasn't the cleanest of them. In fact, PO going down to NEWHAPPY was definitely a helpful turn of events for them, but now TSM, they have no option. At least they don't see any of them other than just to send it into the circle. Sola's trying to creep up behind. Grenade coming through, despite shots coming out from Oath, and that one looks really, really good.
Live by the nade, die by the nade right now. Purdy Curdy, the last one up. He's got Danawa coming in force, and that's actually going to be a tap-in coming from the side, as it's going to be Tank that finds it out, gets him down. Danawa still needing to make a move into the safe zone, as well as Oath. You can see Oath starting to get in their lined-up position. Danawa does have some vision on this rotation, but it looks like they're kind of worrying about repositioning themselves, getting ready for this next push that they're going to have to do. They do have a crate that lands in front of them, and while a crate is nice at this stage, the cover itself might be its own
Yes.
beneficiary.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be arguably more impactful than even if it's something late game OP like a Groza. Is that cover there, because it's at such a premium in this circle. Everyone looks like they're going to be hopping into vehicles and no choice but to send it somewhere, maybe even directly into MCG. Oath don't have to go too far. They find a nice little rock for themselves. But Dannerell might have a strong angle onto that position, even if MCG don't.
Gex making another reposition, hearing the firefight around, and with the harassment that's coming out right now from NEWHAPPY as well as Multi-Circle Gaming, Dannerell really can't do too much to stop Gex's approach. So Oath has to be very careful about not getting too tunnel vision on what's going on with this Dannerell approach. Dannerell is going to get spotted out, and that's going to be a big play coming out for Oath. So going to be able to pick up more kills as they're looking at what's going on ahead of them. So now then, it's starting to be a little bit of a fortification battle between where we see NEWHAPPY playing at, Multi-Circle Gaming, and Gex, with Oath kind of clinging to this hillside. Circle, where is it going to take us?
Down towards the south. Oath's next move would be sweeping around the east side, taking out Gex, and then seeing if that high ground position there gives them an opportunity onto NEWHAPPY or MCG. I could also see them just clown carring it into MCG's position. That's more of a most chickens style of play, though. And yeah, there it is. Smoke's already coming out into GEX, Multi-Circle Gaming, maybe trying to find some shots. But that high ground is going to keep this fight pretty isolated, just in a solid 4 versus 2.
And this is big for Multi-Circle Gaming. With these guys having to fight and stalling it out, that high ground doesn't really have vision, and where Multi-Circle Gaming is trying to survive. Oath is starting to make the push in, does manage to connect with a grenade onto a vehicle, sends it flying off into the distance, and man, we got some bouncy cars so far today. Yan Lee trying to hold it up, but it's going to be just a very outnumbered Gex. They managed to pull off a big play earlier, taking down Jin G. Can they repeat it? Oath trying to make the line as they make their approach. Balefrost does take some damage, Snakers as well, but it is just a constant foot forward approach coming up from Oath as they know they need to take down Global Esports Xset. Can they manage to do it? It's just a rush in, and Snakers says nope, it's not going to be enough on this side. Now what can we see on the other one? Gex down to just 1, and it's going to be 4 members coming in. Does manage to get the lineup into 1. That's going to be Reload going down. Does he have it in him to take down the next 3 is the question. It's going to be a lineup coming through. Assistance coming in from the side. Gex trying to hold it. This blue zone coming in. It's going to hurt. Does manage to line up a second one. Gex goes down, but it is a big cost to Oath. And Oath now has to run into a very precarious situation where it is going to be NEWHAPPY and Multi-Circle Gaming both looking up the hillside.
Yeah, they're going to have to drop down this rock. I don't think there's even like a small little ledge into this next circle. Snaker's picking up his teammate. Trying to find perhaps an opportunity to go for the revive, because if they can back up to 3, that'll be strong, especially with a knock like this. Kickstart trying to make it work from the high ground. But time is at a premium here. Still punishing the knock. Trying to stop the cross. And, oh, only half damage, only half HP, not able to finish things.
Relo is back up. Now we can see Lang Du, Tank, trying to make sure that he gets res onto this, but this is the opportunity. Running down a very dangerous hillside. They do manage to at least dodge out from NEWHAPPY's vision, but it's going to be a directed approach right into where Multi-Circle Gaming is lined up. It is 3 people, Multi-Circle Gaming holding down position, but Kickstart comes in, takes down Ling Du, so the push is going to come through, but Kickstart now goes down as it's going to be Tank in a good position onto it. Summer's trying to find an angle to work with, but no, it's going to be Summer that comes up on one side of this, getting some assistant damage. Tank manages to walk through, and Oath puts up a valiant approach into it, but goes down using the distraction. It's going to be NEWHAPPY. Finding an angle to work with, and it's going to be a very damaged. Multi-Circle Gaming has to be very careful as it's multiple angles and strong circle control coming up from NEWHAPPY.
Ooh. They followed up behind Oath's initiation into this fight, and now they have a great surround. Heavy damage on MCG already. 3 versus 2. Ling Du's able to heal back up, but oh, that grenade looks solid. It just forward. There it is. Final shots come through. Final grenades come through, and it's 7-kill victory for NEWHAPPY in game number 2.
Just clinical. NEWHAPPY knew the moment to make the play coming in off of that. Whenever we saw the contestation going on between Oath and Multi-Circle Gaming, they just took control over the circle. I know they're named Multi-Circle, but they just needed that one, and boy, they just took it with authority. So well played coming out from this one. As I just gotta say, NEWHAPPY, they're fun to watch, man.
Yeah, they they are not scared of fights. They are not scared of just taking it to the enemy. And usually that would find themselves with low placements, high kills, but they're getting the high placements with it. There's a lot to break down.